This is probably the 8th time that I've recorded this and had different things mess up. So we're hoping for the best right now. Or I'm hoping for the best. Alright, so we're going to do some counters. So pull up your template. And you're going to want to make sure that you don't put anything in your template that you don't want to keep reusing. So if there's stuff in it other than you do want your tag table to be in here, but you do not want anything in main. Okay, to keep the template clean, what you're going to want to do is when you first open it, go ahead and save it as whatever we're going to do. So I want to name this one your last name underscore whatever module this is in. So at the time of recording it's module 4, but it could change. And then we're going to call this counters. Alright. And go ahead and save that. Alright, once it's done saving, then we can open up main. Just go to town. Alright, so first things first, let's be able to control our counter. So let's put a normally open contact right here. And let's make this your black button. So if you've got your tag tables, you start typing in black. See black button. Alright, now if your little ribbon up here doesn't look like mine, you go over to your basic instructions, and whatever you're missing, you can drag it over there. So like, let's say I want this reset bit. I can drag it up here. It'll be there forever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that because that's not very useful to me. I put these up here as the most useful to me. If you don't have the mystery box, it is let me kill my face for a second. Forgot that my microphone was tied to my face. Alright, so it'll be under general, and so you'll get that empty box. So if you don't have an open branch, closed branch, an empty box up here, I would suggest doing it so you don't have to keep coming over here to find stuff. Alright, I like the mystery box because it's a placeholder for everything. If you use something a bunch, you could put it up here, or let's say I'm going to use a counter up a ton. I could put it up here, but I don't like this crowded. So the mystery box takes the place of anything that I could want. All I have to do is remember what it's going to be. So we're going to put in CT. Alright, and CT is going to give us the option of a count down, a count up, down. Okay? So what I want you to do is put a CTU in there. So you can either type out CTU or, go and click it. Alright, when you do anything that needs math done with it, you have to partition out the memory for it to do that. So whenever we put in a counter, it needs to keep track of a number. Every time we hit that counter, it's going to add 1 to that number. We have to keep track of that. So we have to give it memory. So we're going to allocate it memory by whenever it goes call options, and you can leave that named whatever. Alright, so whatever's up there is okay. So now you'll get a data block that you can see up under here. That's going to keep track of all the things that that counter needs done. Alright, so let's take a look at what these instructions are. Okay, we've got a Q, which is an output. So that's going to go high when our counter is done. Alright, what makes our counter done? Every time CU, which is a count up instruction, gets a low to high transition. So we've got a button that goes from, no power to some power. It's going to increment whatever is in this count value or current value right here. Whenever that current value equals whatever our preset value is, Q is going to come on. Okay, so it's easier to try than it is to explain sometimes. So let me make sure my PLC is plugged in. Ethernet. Alright. So reset is what it's going to, when we want it to reset. Alright, so when that goes high, it'll reset the current value. Okay. Let's say that we want to check whenever 5 cans get into a box. Okay. So we can just put 5 in our preset value. Okay. Our count value is going to keep track of how many times we push that black button. And then our Q is going to come on whenever my current value equals or goes over my preset value. So let's make this the green light. Okay? So the counter is going to keep track of how many transitions the black button has from low to high. And it's going to increment this. And then it's going to check against whatever we put in the preset value. And once those two equal, it's going to turn on the green light. Once it's equal or above. Alright, so let's go ahead and download that into our device. Alright, so you right click and download to the device. After you do one download to the device, one of the quicker ways of doing things, if you're just doing little incremental things, is go up to this top ribbon up here. And you see where it says download to the device. You can quickly hit that and it'll set it up and hopefully go through. If not, you have to do it the old way. But this is a quicker way. Alright, so I started search, found my device. I'm going to load it. I'm going to continue without synchronization. I'm going to load. Then I'm going to click this little arrow. Instead of dragging it down, I like to be able to drag it up or click that. I want to go to monitoring. And I don't have switches. I just have, I don't have buttons. Y'all have buttons. I just have a switch. So I'm going to have to go down, up, down, up, down, up. So right now, my black button, which is 0.6. So that's the 5th one. Hold up. low to high. All right, so you see here that incremented. It's not showing up over here. If I put a variable there, we'd be able to read it, but we're not really caring about that. All right, I go down, then back up 2. Now, I'm going to keep doing it until I hit 5. And then my green light will come on. Okay? Now, if I keep incrementing that, it'll keep going. So later on, I might want to make that stop until I reset it. Okay? So I could use this so that's counting out a certain number of things into a box. And then as soon as that happens, then it triggers a different part of the program to then stop putting things in the box and maybe close up the box. All right. So at that point, I'm going to go offline. And I'm going to take a picture of my green light being on. Well, let's see. Let's take we're already at 11 minutes. Let's take a picture of our program. And that'll be one of your receivables. I'll do a part 2 in just a minute. Make sure this works.